week so far. So good, we're live on the StreamYard. Welcome everyone. Let's take a look at the Tesla and Visa earnings. As far as I know, this is they're the companies reporting at the moment. As most of you know, especially Tesla, I've been pretty bearish on this for the last little while, and even for the last months. And I do think that regardless of earnings, the outcome is ultimately significantly lower still from here. But let's take a look at this on the extended trading hours and kind of see which reaction we're getting from this. So, like always, I at least want, before giving out maybe any scalping setups, I would at least want 2 or 3 5-minute candles to be printed so that we have some levels to orient on and play from. But apart from that, let's see. These are definitely the 2 most interesting companies reporting, at least in my opinion, here today. So I'm not really that interested in their specific numbers, even though I'm on a website here, Earnings Whisper. I hope it's going to update the specific numbers for the people who are interested. But I'm here to make money ultimately in this market. So I want to see how this is going to react. Maybe if we can get above 147 here for Tesla and hold above that specific level, we could see a move back into the 150s, but that is definitely just an if scenario. So that would be an important level here after hours to kind of solidify, get above before a move up higher. I see someone's joining in the StreamYard. There we are.
I'm right here, buddy.
What a pleasure, bro. How are you doing, sir?
I'm here. I muted you on the Discord. I'm not sure if you're going to have to do that. I don't want no echoing involved. But yeah, what's going on, man? Are you excited about Tesla?
I'm very excited about Tesla, bro. Actually, I was doing some work before the stream, checking out. My God, this is the big ass wicks already. So this is why you definitely want some candlesticks to print. Ultimately, I was doing some work and I was even considering that this probably goes below 100 over the next couple of weeks. And I was looking especially at $87.20. So any kind of upside here to me is not enough to shift bullish on Tesla. If anything, I think that 152 is going to be a big resistance here. But what do you think about the matter, bro? I think maybe you have some other outlook on Tesla or on Visa. I think this is also one that is reporting.
I think all eyes are on Tesla right now, but I don't know. I think it really depends on. I don't really think it depends on their earnings, like this particular past earnings. I think it depends on their guidance, and I think that's what's going to drive Tesla for the rest of the week. So, I mean, we could hit a bottom if they're good guidance and he brings out some good stuff. And look at you. Let's see if it gets through that resistance right there, bud.
The blue line, right? That's what I had.
That blue line.
If I go to the weekly, that's a low from here. So just for context for everyone, that's this previous swing low. So on a lower time frame, it looks like we've got there. So, I mean, this is almost impossible to get in on. But yeah, once you got above 147, it kind of immediately felt
there's
that.
some volume, bro. There's some volume.
Let's see how high this can go, actually. Even though, like, for this to be bullish again, it would need to get back and hold above 185 at the very least.
Yeah.
Like for a bullish market.
It's gonna do that on the next candle, bro. It's gonna do that on the next candle.
Well, if it's gonna keep up with this pace, bro, we're gonna be there real quick. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Visa's one that's just been seeing new highs, right? Isn't that the one that's kind of been just running to new highs? Yeah,
this
it's a solid chart.
Yeah, that one is one of the strongest charts, I would say. So that's holding pretty well above the previous all-time high. Looks like at least the volatility for now is definitely, like you said, at Tesla. Kind of interesting now also after hours to see how this blue line is going to act. So there's this magic blue line. Let's see if maybe we come down and test it and then lift off again. Let's see if anything's updated on this website here. If we are getting any specific numbers, I'll go and figure that out on a separate screen. Even lower, yes, Porter. Yes, I've been looking a little bit like for longer price history, right? And I do
I'm
think
back.
that is in the cards, sir.
I think so too. I think that their numbers have been going down. Their sales have been going down, so that's going to also hit their growth numbers. And they're bringing the prices down of cars to compete with different companies. So I think it's going to take a hit. Ultimately, I think it's going to take a hit. What does it say there? EPS 45 and revenue 21.3 billion. So
Versus
they already
analyst
missed.
consensus. Yeah, and there goes Visa. Actually, that's a nice little move. Nice little move there as well. Quite interesting to see how that. Oh my god! There we go. Even Visa is just flying off my chart, bro. My chart isn't big enough to capture the move to the upside. That's pretty wild. That is, well, it's more than pretty wild. That is absolutely wild. Also interesting to see how Tesla is kind of coming back to this blue level as kind of as suggested, right, to be important. If we're going to get back below that, that could be bad news, at least in the short term. Visa absolutely flying off the charts. They must have just reported some. Let's see, the things are coming in for Visa as well. Getting all kinds of revenue and earnings related news here. Let's put this all out of the charts. Man, I'm gonna have to zoom out for Visa to keep up with the move here. How far is this potentially gonna go?
High? No,
let's already. The all-time high for Visa is 290, but we're honestly not far away. We're honestly not, like, relatively speaking, it only takes one more of these candles and you're at the all-time high, and then things could getting interesting.
I know that we followed through right there with a red candle with Tesla, right? So it didn't hold that 152.
Absolutely not. So that's why also you want to wait for candlestick closures before jumping in prematurely. Yeah, let's see what this gives. Looks like a typical Elon pump and dump scheme to me, and not that bullish at all, like in the bigger picture. Tesla 2024 vehicles volume growth rate notably lower.
Then growth rate achieved in 2023. That's terrible, man. Yeah. I think Tesla, like you say, like before COVID came out, before the whole COVID craze, it was down there. Like, I know that we had like a bunch of splits, right? So it's adjusted over time, but it was like at $60, something like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it comes under $100 and it actually takes out that low back in like 2 years ago, and just take that out.
From a swing perspective, this is where I want to get in, or this is going to really have to break 185 and hold above 185 before I'm really interested in that. So kindly hold off for now. Let's see on a lower time frame again. If this becomes a big wick and then closing back above that low there, that would shape a story. Good to see so many people in here. Welcome, everyone. That's 100% because of you, Mr. SLP. People see your face massively flooding and love to see it. So Tesla doesn't look like they've put in some. It looks like they've put in some really bad numbers, to be honest. Not that it matters too much. People out here smashing the bits as Porterhouse. People are absolutely going wild on this. That's for sure. So looks like some positive narratives coming for Visa, which, yeah,
people out here smashing the bid. Yeah, I let that kind of let that calm down a little bit. I think guidance will probably be in a little bit later, right, in the evening, as it's on the West Coast. So probably I would think maybe an hour or something. There'd be the conference.
See that? That's a nice 5-minute candlestick close, at least above that blue level. Let's see if it can't follow up here. That would be wild.
It needs to engulf the last one, and then that thing will rip.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. It needs to close back above the open price of this red one, for sure.
So let me share those earning reports on Twitter. Let me get those numbers.
Tuko
I
says
got to
my
do
call is
something
going
around here, right? I got to do something. You're doing all the work, my friend.
No, man, you're making the people
Let's
flock
let's
in, as I said.
let's share that with everyone.
Nice.
EPS. There we go. All right. Bam. Everything red, right, guys? So that means that the red on YouTube, if you see it on YouTube and Twitter, you're going to see these red circles, meaning that they're below the estimates that Wall Street were looking for. So everything's red, and that's ultimately not good. But the stock price is reacting the opposite.
This is what we often see, right? I remember last time it was a very vivid example. I believe it was Starbucks coming out with some very bad numbers, I believe, and stock ripped and upside down as well. Like I believe is it Intel that had some pretty decent numbers and they've just tanked after their earnings, but could be wrong. But it's not very indicative, at least for short-term price action. So.
Yeah, I mean, all of those semiconductors kind of sold off, but we saw some recovery, right? I mean, last week we had like overall markets going into some oversold levels, and we were expecting a bounce the beginning of the week. So we're seeing that right now. Monday, Tuesday, a bounce in the market. Now, is it holding, or are we going to see the next leg down? We shall see by the end of the week, right? But I think like Intel, I think that they missed some of their expectations, but they totally missed some of their expectations, and that's why also Intel sold off a lot. So, but I still like them long term. You just got to be patient to get that bottom in again, and then add it again on the reversal.
Completely agree. I actually picked some of that up recently as a starter position.
Oh,
Also
I saw you, bro. I saw you picking up what, $34, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, honestly, I was a bit higher. I think I picked them up at 34.7, just the first initial buy. But if it goes lower, the way that I see it, that's fine. It gives me an opportunity to buy more lower. It's not that, first initial position, you're putting all your money into something, just hoping that it's going to go only up after you enter. That's not really realistic, right? I'm looking at Visa here, by the way. This could be interesting to come back to 279.5 quickly, like liquidate anybody who is too leveraged here with stops under 280 and then move up. Like, I'm not sure, right? But something like that's at least a level to look at for reaction, just as we had the blue line here. So it looks good for now, at least very short term, right? Breaking. This is a nice retest. It can wick all the way below that blue line. It closed nicely above. So if it would have closed below that blue line, that would have given a completely different story for that next candlestick. But looks good so far. Looks like it's at least going to take
Tesla, send it, Tesla, send it. Let's go.
Let's see if we can figure out exactly where that would squeeze into, though. Like, let's make a good guesstimate here. I'm saying 161.38, and that's a good level to look at next. So would be something if we could reach that. And would definitely be something if we could reject from that. That would even be more beautiful. And for Visa, I'd be looking at 279.5. But really what I'm interested in is just seeing kind of where is it tomorrow going to open up. And maybe look for a play back in a gap that it leaves behind on the earnings move here.
Man, I didn't realize that Tesla had so many gaps. Like you look this like on the daily chart and you see all these gaps to the downside. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the gaps where we can probably fill the 1 to 161.40 around that area, I could see us maybe that would be the next target if we hold up and start pushing even higher.
So I got 161.38, bro, and you got what, 161.40? I mean, that's pretty much the same gap that we're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely, same gap, man. We're looking at that same little gap.
Nice. Let's see on the 5 minute here. Also, would be something if Visa could come and fill this here. It's very likely to fill up this little hole here. What a popular gap, right? Right, indeed. The whales are looking. At least Mr. SLP is. I feel uncomfortable with all these gaps being screamed about. So I expect maybe a couple of more big 5 minute candlesticks, and then probably in 15 minutes, it's probably going to die down in terms of volume. So that's what you usually see, right? If we put on the volume in here, it's mostly a big volume move right after the open, and then like let's say 35 minutes in, this really like decreases, and then the volatility is gone basically. Is there anything else that is reporting today? I think maybe we can add in that third chart here. I think ENPH or something was that third one.
We got ENPH. There's ENPH that's a popular energy stock. That's ENPH that is coming out today as well.
Let's put that in here as well.
How's that one look so far?
Looks like the opposite, like big red basically. This has moved all the way down to $100 here too. I should probably zoom out here for a second and see where this is heading to. So let's mark out that low. That's maybe a good level to look for a bounce. If it does send way lower, 93.5, that's where you could look for. So instead of catching a knife here, just wait for price to come to you. Let's put these settings a little bit better.
Yeah, ENPH is the next biggest one, and like, isn't it Earth Day today? And Biden over here was talking about how he's gonna, put more solar and wind and stuff like that to kind of fight that climate change. And then we got ENPH, which kind of focuses on that, right? And it's just selling off. I mean, it had a pretty nice recovery from last year's earnings, but we're coming down today.
My God, what a pump this has been over 5 years, 52,000% on this thing. That is crypto-like, 52,000% on this one. So not a problem in the bigger picture. I think 93.5, that's a level where I want to play from later on in the week. If it can deviate below that level and get back above, then I'm going to take a position on that.
ENPH.
I'll actually put it in my watch list. This is very, very nice.
I'm looking at the last, let me see where that is. What's the bottom of that candle? 93.50.
I got 93.52.
Yeah, 93.52 is from February 5th. That's what we're looking at, guys, on the weekly chart.
Exactly what I did, bro. I just took the low of a weekly candle there.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one.
That's going to be
$93, guys. Let's see how it reacts off 93 if it comes down that far, though. But maybe tomorrow it will see a continuation.
And for the people that actually watch the market, watch with Quench, you could even apply his 30-minute strategy if I think that's what it is, right? So you could wait for price to get below that level and then to close a 30-minute candlestick back above 93.5, and that should, so you're not catching a falling knife here. It's not because it's now at $100 that it's necessarily a good.
It's a bargain. Get it? It's a bargain.
And there it
press
goes.
the button.
And there it goes. It's no longer $100, bro. It's now 99.5.
Oh man, you're already down $1, $2.
Yeah, exactly. That's already 1%.
Let me see. I need to see this on the bigger picture on my chart. Let me see what it looks like. Yeah, that 93 is going to come pretty fast the way it's going.
The way that I look at this, bro, is in my mind, is almost like no guarantees, right? There's no guarantees, but I see that as a good opportunity to play it back to $100 from there, so from lower, and then just to secure my position at 100. And if I see an uptrend unfolding, I can look to play the higher low. But so
I think the retest of 93 on the weekly, you're going to get some kind of reaction there. So like you say, it's better to retest it, see what happens. And if we start reversing from there, at least you can play it to probably like the upper 90s again. before maybe it retraces back to retest again. But you're right. I mean, why not just wait for that lower support to be retested instead of like in the middle here, which there's nothing really to go by.
And you should probably even have an option below 93.5, so it's not guaranteed that holds, right? It could come down to 82.2 would be my next level, and then I would be looking at 73.5. So realistically, there's 3 options here.
Man, you want it to go all the way down in the next weekly candle, huh? You want to go all the way down,
sir. Why not?
You want to go down to February 2023? Yeah, you want to go down there? That's fine. That means that the RSI is going to be super oversold, and there should be definitely a reaction. That 73. Come on.
Well, yeah. So at least having some options. But this is something that I personally do not have a long-term position in. I should actually check, is this a dividend-paying stock? Doesn't seem like.
No, it isn't one.
Doesn't seem like. Let's go back to maybe a 5-minute chart. So good variety of things going only down and going only up. So Tesla's still refusing to get below that blue line. So it's a really very important level. If we can manage to stay above that level tomorrow, I think there's upside to 160s. But nothing for a long-term buy here for me, at least. Maybe a short trade.
Yeah, it is very tight, like a flag, you're right. Like a flag, a little wedge going on there. Really tight.
Yeah, probably. If we are looking on a 1 minute, you're already going to see that flag unfold, really. I'm not a fan of a 1 minute, but you could draw something out like this, right? Some flag structure. Yep. But I generally try to stay away from the 1 minute. It's
yeah, that thing's real. Look at that.
Fluttered, clustered, not clear.
Some indecision. But it is, but that first, like you say, we're above 152 and holding. So there is some positive there in the Tesla chart. Everyone wants this to tank off. Like everyone out there, like, let me just grab this under $100 because I didn't last time around. So that everyone wants it to go lower.
And that's probably going to happen, but not until more people buy from higher.
Yeah. It's gonna make people wait a little bit longer.
Yeah. And you can already kind of see how the volume is dying down, and these candlesticks on Visa is just becoming smaller and less interesting. So probably stick around for another 10-15 minutes max, and then see what happens with their guidance and how it opens up tomorrow, right?
Yeah, if we go like by VWAP as well, it's kind of Tesla's sitting right on top of VWAP. It keeps bouncing right off there on the 3-minute chart as well.
Let me put that in there.
Interesting to see. On the 3-minute chart, I'm on you see the VWAP just kind of bouncing right off of it.
Actually, that move initiated for my VWAP here. It's pretty nice.
You don't want to get into a trade here after hours and just sit here all day and watch it? That's what you don't want to do, that, Jay?
I typically like to get in during regular market hours of something. And if I'm going to day trade, it's either going to be between 10 or 11 a.m. or the hour before the market closes, or I want to take a swing trade based on my strategy, which we teach in our coaching groups during any other time during the regular trading session.
No, the last time around, you remember, we was like razor focus. I was trading AMD, remember? And like from the bottom, and it went up like what, $10-12 higher when I grabbed the position. So
the candlestick was so big and so red, and you just froze. You're like clicking buttons.
Hello, anyone there? Yes, Jay, I'm trying to buy a position right now.
Bro, you only said hey after price has already gone up significantly, and you were up.
Yeah. It went up like $8, and I was like, all right, let me talk now. Let me unfreeze. That was a good one too. I scalped it, but I got about $800 in the end, I think, on that afternoon. It was pretty nice. It's actually the most productive I was that day. I think it was most productive in that 10-15 minutes I traded AMD than anything else that day. So
It's always nice to hang out after hours with you, bro.
yeah, man, look at that. Look at that. It's falling through.
It
It's
is
going.
indeed falling through. So closing below here on the 5 minute, I have a level there that 147. So that's a level that it didn't really touch that yet on this wick, right? So we could still come down and test that and still hold, but overall, like I said, this is not swing long territory or anything. And realistically speaking, that move really already happened right on the first push from 147 to 152. That's a nice almost 4%. I'm definitely going to mark out 279.5 tomorrow for Visa. Maybe we come there tonight, maybe tomorrow, but I definitely think that we see at least a blip below 280 to stop people out before running to 290 essentially.
Like I like to play off like we talk about I'm talking about SPY in general, right? S&P 500, and we got that nice bounce. Like I'm looking at the daily chart, and we got a nice bounce from like the oversold, and you kind of could have gone back in time and looked on the RSI and say, where did we bounce a few times before that we had solid bounces from, and it was around this RSI like 30. So we got the same kind of thing. We got a bounce. Actually, this is the last time we came down to this level in the RSI. We had the huge like rally until like recent. So when we came down to this level on Friday, the 30 on the RSI, now we're retracing. We're up to 40. I think that's like 47, 46 on the RSI. So like I like to play off the RSI 50 now. So SPY, like essentially tomorrow we may test the RSI 50, get rejection, and start falling all the way back down again. So I'll be looking on the daily chart on the RSI and seeing if we get through the 50 or we get a huge rejection at the RSI 50, which will trigger maybe the next step down, the leg down from here.
Yeah.
And this was just a rebound, oversold rebound. So I'll be looking like tomorrow to see how we're at like 46 on the RSI now on the daily. And we're coming up to probably test the SMA 50 is around 509. So, I mean, we could test that and then get rejection and fall back down. And I think that's my re-entry if we do get rejection there for puts or short on the S&P SPY.
I'm looking to do something very similar, but on some crypto altcoins that are looking like particularly weak in the bigger picture, but ultimately the same thing. Like I'm thinking, this bounce might just be another like a lower high from here. So when the market is nuking and when things are coming down 20% and you're panicked, is because you were too excited when price was high, thinking that it would only go up. So that's why we hedge ourselves short if we get a good opportunity. Maybe also with Monday and Tuesday being green, you often get a midweek reversal. So very often we get a move on Monday and Tuesday into one direction, and then come Wednesday into the end of the week, you're starting to roll to the other side again. So we'll see. I will be here for it tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, we have GDP numbers coming out this week. Like jobless claim, everything the same thing. So eyes will be on that. I believe Fed Powell speaks sometime this week as well. I think that may be tomorrow. I'd have to check. It's not like, interest rates or anything, but he's going to be speaking. So there's a few things, catalysts that could change it or could carry on this rebound up a little bit higher. But like, I don't know. There's so many stocks that are under the MA 200. So that's very bearish at the moment. A lot of equities, stocks that are very under the MA 200, and that's essentially bearish, in the equity market. So I would like to see maybe some bottoms form in some of those stocks and start reversing. Tesla uppers code to launch new models ahead of planned timeline sniped.
Yeah.
So I think tomorrow we're going to see either like continuation to that, like maybe 509 on SPY. And then it really depends how like Tesla does as well, I believe. And some of the other ones. I believe we have Google this week, Microsoft this week on Thursday. So that's going to be a very big afternoon for earnings.
Yeah, Bull has all the other glorious names this week on Thursday. He'll be here.
He has too many to keep track of. He has like Google, Microsoft, Snapchat, like all of these all together. Intel, they're all on the same day, guys. This is going to be action packed on Thursday.
Tesla really struggling and toying with this blue level, but still above now. So looks like it could run to 160s tomorrow. We'll take a look at that more in depth, and then for Visa as well, and for ENPH. Well, if it does just reverse from here, I won't get my swing entry, but that's also completely fine. I do think that this is set to go lower, but it might take a few hours or maybe even a few days. It would need to get all the way back there above 115 to have really a bullish outlook again. And that's pretty much the drop-off point. Did we have anything else apart from Tesla, Visa, and Face? I do think that that's definitely the most interesting ones.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Everyone's going to be probably wide awake. They're not going to be able to sleep tonight because they want to see how Tesla opens up in the morning. And also, you can trade Tesla 24 hours a day on Robinhood now. So why sleep? Why sleep, guys?
My God, bro, my God. It's such a cult like stock. I personally don't like holding Tesla in a long-term portfolio. I've only traded it in long swing trades, but that's not something that long-term, I think, at least that's not something that I see as a good store of value long-term, because I don't like that it's so dependent on just Elon Musk. What happens the day he dies? Just, I don't wish it for him, but what happens to that company, that stock, that ticker name?
Well, I don't know if we're going to know when he dies because they probably just like clone him or something by then. We won't know. There'd
Yeah.
be like 5 of them by then, and
Yeah, he's probably gonna get that fixed before it happens. Indeed, if there's one person to do it. Anyways, let's see if we got any activity here in the chat. Really confident in his thesis. How, man, you can't survive this market without confidence. Oh, you don't want to read it, bro? You've been in here, Bruce. You've been stirring up the pot.
here you go, Latvian making sense there. He uploaded himself to the Neuralink. That's exactly what's going to happen. We're never going to know when the real Elon Musk dies. Maybe when he doesn't get his package, his pay package again, when they deny him. Maybe then we know.
Musk is eternal. Looks like we're getting to that point where the volume is really dying down. Like I said, after half an hour, that's typically what always happens, and then there's guidance after, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow. These are definitely 3 stocks that tomorrow during my market open stream, we can take a look at those to see exactly how they're going to react from some important levels. So probably what's going to happen, right, is tomorrow between 9:30 and 11, it's going to come to some of these levels that are on these charts right now. So if tomorrow, even on a lower time frame, ENPH comes to 93.5, you could already write that down that we would look for a long position from there. And we'll do that together, of course.
Oh, yeah. We do it all together.
We literally do it all together, bro. Every single day.
Yeah, we'll find that setup.
I think you have live trading going on tomorrow as well, right? Actually,
yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning. We're going to do some live trading.
So there's only half an hour without live trading in the first couple of hours here with us.
Maybe I just join yours and I just go right into mine, and we do it like that way because my strategy works pretty well with even day trading, the one that I teach over there in the coaches area. So I have been using it for day trading as well, and we can probably find some trades with that same strategy tomorrow. Especially on Tesla, there's going to be a lot of volatility on Tesla. Probably my number one to trade tomorrow. If you're an option trader, I think Tesla's going to be one with a lot of volume. I'm not quite sure about Visa. I don't know about the Visa volume tomorrow. It's just been steadily going up week after week.
I mean, it's very close to all-time highs at the moment again, right? So it's $8 away, and if that breaks, new all-time highs could go very far. So I think Visa has not really reached. Let's see what my target was for Visa, just for reference. I still think that goes way higher, especially in a context of all-time highs. I think this, this is on its way to $300 then. So that's going to be actually my target for a trade. Ideally, I'd like to see them come down and take the stops below 280 and then a bullish reaction from there, and then essentially targeting 300 already.
Let me look at Visa's, before we get out of here, let me look at Visa's earnings and see what happened. Okay, so I got this from X, and yeah, Visa's pretty strong. Look at those green numbers with Visa right there. Revenue 8.8 billion compared with the estimate of 7.98. So that's 10% higher. Estimate was so they beat on sales, and then their EPS they beat as well. So Visa has been doing very strong right now, and probably to do with like interest rates as well. They're probably getting more revenue with their loan interest rates, stuff like that. That's going on, right? So I think Visa is a strong one, and it will continue to stay strong.
Yeah. Visa, ENPH, and Tesla are definitely three. Yeah, we're going to take a look at them tomorrow, I think, in our live trading. Oftentimes, bro, I was checking out your live trading. I was just sneaking in just to see that you're talking about the exact same stocks at very similar levels than what I was just talking about an hour earlier. And then I see the same people seeing both streams, and we're just independently basically saying the same thing.
Just join the damn stream together, make it a 2-hour stream instead of one, and we do it together.
Exactly, bro. Like that's been happening on Mara and Coinbase, I believe. I've seen you talk about those right after I was online.
It's because we're swing traders, bro. We're looking at the same. Look at us right here. We're on the weekly chart, picking out the same damn numbers. So so we're looking at the same things, doing the same things, wearing the same things. We might as well just be one stream together.
I agree.
But Visa's a big one. Yeah, Visa's a big one. ENPH looks like it's recovering. With ENPH, if it can get above like 106, I think that ENPH may keep pushing back up to like 108 to 109 next. If we can get above 106 on ENPH. I think that's going to be like a resistance point. So if we can get above 106 for ENPH, then I think we can continue a little bit higher before maybe a rejection about 109. If we can't get above that 106 and we get rejection there, then you could probably short it down a little bit.
Yeah,
that's how I would kind of play it. Yeah, exactly. You kind of got it drawn out right there too, 109-ish, right? So.
Yeah, and probably also if you have a Fibonacci level, for example, from that high to this low, that's probably gonna that's like your one. Like I didn't draw it perfectly here, but yeah, that's literally your 618 is 109, so that's a very nice confluence spot. If you're long, I would consider taking my profits there. If you are, but I'm personally definitely not interested in that here. As a swing trader, right? So as a day trader, scalper, sure, there's maybe something to get there to 109, but I'm not going to take that bet.
Nope.
Yeah, it is pretty epic to see that.
Pookie over here saying let's do a 72-hour trading marathon. My goodness, can you imagine how bloodshot our eyes would be by then? I wouldn't know what's what on the chart at that time.
I think a 24-hour live stream is already very, very optimistic, but probably that would be the limit for me.
That would be pretty cool to do like once a year. You know, like let's do a 24-hour marathon.
Yeah, that's actually true. But
And that means
you
all of
depend
us.
on,
Like Pookie can put out these ideas in the Discord, but he has to be a part of that idea too. So Pookie's there, Nikki has to be there, Austin will be there, Bull will be there. We just be doing 24 hours, all of us together.
and you do realize that you need the crypto people for that, because you don't have a
Crypto
market
people.
that trades 20, you don't have a market that trades 24 hours, bro. So through crypto, I can trade so you guys can do the pre-market, the after hours, and the
No,
US
we can
session.
do Robinhood. You can trade in Robinhood 24 hours.
Oh, you actually have some platforms to trade 20. So Tesla 24 hours a day, you mean?
24 hours a day. You can go onto Robinhood. Like there's certain tickers, there's like 50 or maybe a little bit more now that you can trade overnight. And Tesla's one of them, Nvidia's one of them, AMD. Like I don't know if you saw, but one evening I was on Sunday evening. Like it opens up on Sunday at 8 p.m. right? So the weekend it closes over the weekend with Robinhood, but it opens up at 8 p.m. on Sunday. So we were like looking at Nvidia, buying Nvidia like at 9 p.m. on Sunday, and then selling before pre-market on Monday, and making like, I think it was like 40-50 bucks per share. Like it was a nice move that we played overnight.
My God, bro, that's very neat. That's very neat. So these people from Robinhood, they also really figured out, hey guys, what's better than just trading revenue during market hours? Let's
they're making money.
24/7. Absolutely.
Yep, they're making money. So like if you buy something on Sunday night, like after 8 p.m., it's considered, like if you sell the next day, obviously it's still considered a day trade, right? But it would be on Monday. So you have to be careful that you don't go over your day trades, because you're trading overnight. So be careful with that.
That's some good information right there, bro. I think that's a good note to get out of here almost. Volume is dying down, and we'll be
because say like you have no day trades on, like you have no day trades. Sunday night comes in, you have no day trades, right? But you can buy Nvidia and sell Nvidia the next day, and it will count towards the next day's day trade. So you won't get no PDT rule because you're doing too many day trades in that day. Whatever you buy on Sunday will count on Monday. And whatever you buy on like Monday night will count on Tuesday. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you have no day trades on Tuesday night and you're buying things at 10 o'clock in the evening, and you sell the next day, it's going to be affected on your day trade the next day. So it's pretty interesting. There was like a limited of like 10 stocks before. Now there's like 50 or 60 stocks you can trade on Robinhood overnight. Look at that nice move up. Here we go.
Look at that. That's your 109 there, almost hit.
Yeah, that's nice. That's juicy right there. Nearly 109, guys. We're up to 108.50, 108.70.
There it is.
There we go. 109.68, guys.
This is a good place where, if it's going to reject, it should do it from here, actually, or closely from here. Something like that would be ideal. I always like to look at charts from a bearish perspective.
Tick, if you're looking like for, you looking about Robinhood available to the US? Yeah, okay. So Robinhood is based out the US, and the Robinhood 24 hours is available for US only. So, yeah. I know that Robinhood was trying to open up in UK one time, and then they kind of stopped that from happening in the end. They're about to go live in the UK. That would be amazing if Robinhood can finally kind of, venture out to Europe.
That would be something indeed. I definitely empathize with Tick here in the chat, because indeed, for non-US citizens, it's completely different. We're not that free to trade, even just after hours or pre-market, let alone on a Sunday evening at 8 p.m. New York time. That's definitely not when we can trade. So yeah, that's why I like crypto as well. No gaps, 24/7 trading.
Yeah,
good liquidity.
yeah. All right, man.
Was a blast to have you, Mr. SLP. I'm
glad
gonna head out here short.
glad to be here with you, man. I thought I'd just pop on here and surprise you.
That's a nice surprise.
As I love doing these streams with you, buddy. So I thought let's jump on there.
Cool. I really appreciate that, man. Indeed, that made me smile to see you jumping in here. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Tesla's trying to push high now too, guys. So let's kind of pay attention to the actual conference call and see kind of what they say there.
Yeah, this is maybe a good time to stay on for a few more minutes to see if it can rip through the high.
It's always good to say, yeah, we got to that 161 that we're aiming for, right?
Exactly, bro.
Not full of shit.
Then we can... No, and same here on the 109 for ENPH. That's a nice little, people taking their profit there, of course. But it's not really people taking their profit there that's really moving the market, but nonetheless, right? It was a good spot. Let's see if it can do something like this here with the blue squiggly lines. That would be something. I see some comment on YouTube. I'm shocked ENPH isn't down more. It was a terrible earnings. Well, as we said, terrible earnings doesn't mean only down, right? But I would give this a couple of days, and I think you will probably see it trading lower down.
That's Jeff Bezos that is commenting, man. Jeff Bezos himself is here. Welcome to the stream, man. I'm glad to see you here, spending your time with us instead of looking at your Amazon products. Fantastic stuff going on there, Jeff. But I do say that if you go back to ENPH's chart, like on TradingView or Webull, whatever platform you use, the last earnings that we saw, it was bad earnings too, let me tell you. And we gapped up overnight. So like anything can happen with these earnings. It's basically a coin toss, right? And some bad earnings could really pop the stock up. It really depends on guidance as well. If they mention anything positive in their calls, then we can start trending up instead of what people think, we would come down on that. So the last time around, ENPH gapped up on bad earnings too. So just have that in mind. But thanks for showing up, Jeff. Thanks, man. But that's a hell of a rejection there for ENPH right on our target. What did we hit in the end? We hit 110.88 on that wick.
Yeah. Yep. Went slightly above it. Tesla is also making us wait, bro. Like this 5-minute candle is pointing to the upside, is just telling us, yeah, we're gonna run the highs, but it's making us wait. So that could even take some time, right? It could come down a little bit and then go up.
It's looking more bullish at this point. Like we would have, I think we would have sold off pretty hard by now.
Yeah. At least if it's going to go down significantly after earnings, then probably the move to the downside should have happened already. Like if it's really a big bull trap in the short term, typically what you see is a big green candle like that, and then the next one like this that just gets back below the low, and then you basically know, yeah, that's probably going to turbo reverse the other way. But it's holding pretty well above our blue line here, 152.3. That's going to be a key level for Tesla, at least short term. With that being said, Mr. Lee, is there anything else you wanted to share with people?
No, man, nothing to share. But we're going to be we both have live streams tomorrow. So we're going to be looking at all these charts with earning reactions. And then we're going to plot out some lines and see what we got going on, and hope you guys can join us.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thanks for
guys.
joining me.
Cheers. Have a good night.